once again, people, and welcome to yet another episode of Seeking Shamblers. This time around, we're going to be checking out a level that happens to be known as HighDive. This is actually the second level that we've seen called HighDive. We saw the first one a little while back. It was a level made in late August. This is a level made in earlier August. In fact, this is the particular level that comes to us from the days of Aftershock that was named HighDive. So I guess you could say this was the first one that we saw that was named HighDive, but we ended up kind of finding the conversion for that one first and messing around with that one. That one has like a weird high tower and some other weird stuff like that. This one is basically one relatively small sized room and not really a lot in it. It's like one gun and really not a lot located here. So this is going to be a rather bare bones level to check out, but is a level that we've been kind of looking for a while to convert over at least. So anyway, this is a level made by Matthew D. Shee, and it's actually made for Quake. Who would have guessed that one? Anyway, the name is actually rather interesting. Basically, the level name in-game is called HighDive with a capital D. And that's kind of what I always thought the name therefore was. However, we're going to get a little bit more complicated because HighDive can also be spelled without that capital D, with just HighDive as one word. So, yeah, needless to say, it's rather complicated. Anyway, this actually was made in, it seems like, July of 1996. July 21st and 22nd of 1996, he says. Also, Matthew D. Shee is part of In Pinky and the Brain's Cage. Whatever in God's name that even means. Yeah. Anyway, other than that, we get some play testing and an angled ramp by Michael Wilson. I guess that's basically a test file. He also thanks Darkarant for the Quake Brush Generator. Whatever in God's name that is. I don't think I've ever heard the Quake Brush Generator. Interesting. He also thanks someone else for GDW Quake, whatever in God's name that is. Nutritional expertise and preparation by Sella. That's a lot more important, the nutritional aspects of this thing. Game notes. We like close-in combat. The weapon selection is challenging. Try some high diving while wielding your axe. Finally, we like it dark. Happy ambushes! So, yeah, that's basically this particular level. Other than that, there's really not much. The streets will flow with the blood of the non-believers. You know, all the normal stuff you'll find in this documentation. So let's load out this particular level that we've kind of found and play HighDive. And not the HighDive that we saw last time, as said. So, this time around, I actually have to load it up with HighDive 2. Even though really the file name is exactly the same. I put a 2 at the end so we could actually load it up separate from the first one. Yes! What? What? There's no info player start on level. Well, that's horrible. Yeah. That's horrible. No wonder this didn't exist in compilations. There's no map player start in the level? That might be interesting. Why isn't there a player start? Why isn't there a player start in this freaking level? Let's actually look at this level quickly and see, is there any player start? It seems like there's a bunch of brushes. Yeah, there's an info player start. So, I don't see what your problem is, game. There is a player start. You lied to me. There's a very blatant player start in the original map file. So, why didn't it load for me? That's a good question. I'm curious, did something happen during the compilations? I don't know, but if I'm looking at it like info player start, no, if I actually open up the file, I'm definitely seeing a very blatant info player start. So, yeah, I'm not really sure why this one's not working. It has a player start, it has a very blatant info player start. So, why wouldn't it work? That's a good question. I guess I should load it up again, because I don't really know what else I'm doing. And I shall try and test the level again, because doing the same thing twice is always a great idea. Okay, so it's... Nothing really seems to work. So let's do that. Clear the cache or whatever. Let's switch to Deathmatch mode, and then try and do the exact same thing for, whatchamacallit, HighDive 2. There we are! It doesn't work in single player. This is actually interesting. I don't think there's been many levels that have worked on Deathmatch only. So this is one level that, wait a minute. This is HighDive. The other HighDive. Huh? I thought I put HighDive. Okay, now I'm very confused. Wait a minute here. Why did I have the same freaking file twice? That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Huh? What? Okay, now I'm a bit confused. Maybe it's not recognizing it because it's too big of a name. It might be one of those cases whereby I think maybe it's like 8 characters or more and it doesn't recognize. So what I'm going to do is actually call it like HighDive 2. Instead of HighDive, it's going to be HighDive 2. So that way it's 8 characters, no more, and it should still work. Because yeah, it seems like HighDive 2 is too much for it. So HighDive 2, and we shall try that one. And there we are. Now it's actually working. So yeah, basically, when loading your Quake naming your Quake maps, be sure to not include more than 8 characters, it seems. So as you see, this is basically the level we saw in the days of Aftershock. You guys saw a glimpse of what the other HighDive looked like. And yeah, that one's kind of actually more of a mess to load. I kind of forgot that it was that much of a mess to load, so that's interesting. But yeah, this one works a bit more fine. As you see, I have a random hole in the ground. And well, we have a hole over here. And we have a staircase on this side. So yeah, you can jump up here, you can collect the shells. As said, this map doesn't really have much in the way of weaponry or much of anything at all. So you're basically just going to be running around with a shotgun. And I believe there's a nail gun somewhere in this map. We'll have to find it. But yeah, basically you just run around, you collect a few random goodies. There's not really much to this particular one. It's a very, very bare bones map. As you see, there's an interesting water pool over on that side. We'll check up that in a minute. Here's the nail gun right down at the bottom of this floor, conveniently. So we already found the nail gun, and if you follow this down, you'll get to what looks like the recess to this one, which allows you to get right back out here. And also what looks like the recess to that pool of water you can jump over. So yeah, there's nothing really grand or fancy on the other side of that. As you can see, really it was like 2 shells and a nail gun. Oh, and a stack of nails on the roof here. So basically 4 pickups in total in this entire freaking level. Not really the most fancy, and it seemed like a lot more of a pain to get working than it needed to be. Mainly because there was another level named HighDive, so I can't really blame that level for this one. But yeah, I'm going to have some fun documenting this one around and moving things around because, as said, the name is actually can be lowercase as well. HighDive is one word, so we're going to have to mess around with that and fix it all up. But in any case, it does work. The level actually loads up perfectly fine as seen. There's just nothing really in there. It's a very, very bare bones level with some of just the bare essentials. As pretty much said in the map file, it wasn't really that surprising based on the fact that the map file kind of said that. But of course, I originally played this in the Aftershock Aftershock days, not the Aftershock toolbots. And back then I didn't get documentation like this. So needless to say, I was a bit surprised with how short this level was. At least now I kind of have a reason why. But anyway, thank y'all for watching. It's been really, really pointless, but we did need to convert this level over. And I guess I'll be seeing you all, well, next time.